Anyone who knows what I do for a living and seen any films that I've been in, they know that, I turn up and get stuck.
Anyone who knows what I do for a living knows I turn up and get stuck in. I roll up my sleeves and do what I'm capable of, which is quite a lot. Jason Statham. The man the world knows as the indestructible action star. Tough. Fearless. Relentless. A man who does his own stunts and makes it look effortless. But behind the camera, the truth is far more human and far more dangerous. In 2025, medical reports revealed the physical toll of his career: broken ribs, concussions, a wrist that never healed properly. Even his wife, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, pleaded with him to stop certain stunts. The warning? Doctors told them something terrifying, something that no stunt, no training, no fight sequence could prepare him for. The man who survived drowning, bee stings, and countless on-screen battles now faces his most formidable opponent, time in his own body. Jason Statham was born July 26, 1967, in Shirebrook, Derbyshire, a town that didn't promise dreams, only work that crushed backs and spirits. Coal mines dominated the landscape and shaped the men who toiled in them. Jason's father, Barry Statham, born in 1939, knew hardship firsthand. He had survived Britain's harshest winters and the era of bleak paychecks. Barry worked anything that brought in money: painting, mining, street vending, even singing in cheap lounges in the Canary Islands. Choosing was a luxury he never had. His mother, Eileen Yates, brought movement, music, and rhythm to their life. She was a dancer, performing in pubs and dim-lit lounges. Jason grew up watching two worlds collide: struggle and stage lights, grime and sparkle. Their home was alive with constant motion. Music became a family affair. Jason's brother, Lee, played guitar, Barry sang, Jason kept time on the drums. It wasn't a path to fame, it was survival, art born from necessity. At 10, the family moved to Great Yarmouth, a bustling coastal town. Barry continued his street hustle, selling goods in the open markets. Jason observed, absorbed, and learned how to read people, when to push, when to step back. That streetwise awareness would later define his characters on screen. By 11, Jason discovered martial arts. Karate, kickboxing, Chinese martial arts, Muay Thai, Judo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Krav Maga. He trained daily, transforming raw energy and frustration into discipline and precision. Black belts weren't just trophies, they were control, a way to survive in a world that demanded toughness. Precision became his power. Sports further shaped him. In school, he crossed paths with Vinnie Jones. They were boys with grit, playing football from 1978 to 1983. Discipline, timing, teamwork, lessons that extended far beyond the field. At 12, diving became his new obsession. Trained by Great Britain's national swimming squad for 12 years, Jason mastered 1, 3, and 10-meter dives. At 23, he competed in the 1990 Commonwealth Games in New Zealand, placing 8th, 11th, and 12th in his events. No medals, but the discipline, body awareness, and courage he developed in the pool would later save his life on sets. Even then, survival wasn't easy. He worked part-time selling fake perfume and jewelry alongside his father, a lesson in persistence, charm, and navigating danger in real life. In the mid-1990s, modeling offered a glimpse of escape. Campaigns with Tommy Hilfiger, Levi's, and Griffin paid small amounts, but gave him exposure. Yet he remained grounded in reality. Modeling wasn't glamorous, it was survival. Posters on London streets featured his buzzed head, square jaw, and raw glare, but his fridge was still half empty. Before acting, he appeared in music videos: 1993's Coming On, 1994's Run to the Sun, unscripted, unpredictable, moving naturally. He wasn't an actor yet, he was simply a body in motion, a man whose life experience demanded authenticity. This raw authenticity caught the eye of Guy Ritchie in 1997. Ritchie needed someone real for Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, a hustler who didn't need to pretend. Jason walked in, sold fake goods on the spot, and earned the role of Bacon. $5,000. No glamour, just instinct. Lock, Stock, 1998, was chaos captured on film: East End pubs, improvised lines, heckling locals, broken car windows. Jason's instincts weren't just acting, they were survival skills in action. 2 years later, Snatch gave him a lead role as Turkish, threading his way through gang wars and diamond heists. Budget, $10 million. Worldwide gross, $83.6 million. Behind the camera, tension often mirrored the screen. During reshoots, an ad-libbed threat toward Benicio del Toro nearly caused a real fight. Director Guy Ritchie intervened. This intensity became a hallmark of Jason's craft: real, raw, risky. Jason steps onto the transporter set. Every fight, every fall, every kick, he performed himself. The oil fight scene left his ribs bruised, yet unflinching. Director Corey Ewan had trained him for months, but nothing prepared him for the sheer physical toll. Car chases followed suit. In Transporter 2, he drove narrow streets in Marseilles at 80 miles per hour, no CGI, no stunt double. A 10-story building climb ended with a 20-foot fall, ankle sprain, and hospitalization. He refused to quit. Safety warnings became suggestions, rarely enforced. Plane fights, hydraulic turbulence, cultural clashes on set, he endured it all. Transporter 3 in Ukraine? Dislocated shoulder, handcuffed to a moving truck. He completed scenes regardless, cementing his reputation. Jason Statham is as real as it gets. Death Race, Crank, The Italian Job, each film escalated danger. Car crashes, flooded tunnels, actual traffic hazards. In Crank, he ran across LA highways, dodging real cars, nearly hitting pedestrians. Crew lawsuits followed, yet the footage remained. In The Expendables 3, a flatbed truck plunged into the Black Sea. Trapped, seconds from drowning, Statham escaped thanks to his competitive diving past. Sylvester Stallone called it a life-or-death moment. Mechanic, Fast and Furious 6, The Meg, the pattern continued. Explosions, shark cages, skyscraper climbs, motorbike chases. Pain, risk, and survival became his art form. Romance rarely survived his schedule. Relationships with Kelly Brook and Sophie Dahl ended amid career pressures. In 2010, he met Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. Despite early conflicts, including a near breakup during a paparazzi chase, they married, welcoming son Jack Oscar in 2017. Therapy helped maintain balance. By 2022, a $14 million Beverly Hills mansion brought new challenges: drones, paparazzi, and privacy invasions. Rosie demanded stunt limits, Jason pushed boundaries, but never abandoned authenticity. Beyond stunts, Jason gave back. In 2020, he donated $1 million to UK diving programs. By 2022, he had funded over 1 in 200 scholarships. He also mentored young stunt performers on set, insisting on safety and medical readiness. Film gross totals: Meg, $530 million, Hobbs & Shaw, $760 million, Expendables, $1.2 billion plus. Despite billions earned, regrets lingered. In 2006, he passed on auditioning for James Bond, later admitting he should have fought harder. Every choice, every risk, every stunt was a lesson in pushing limits while surviving the consequences. Even in 2025, rumors of his death surfaced: Texas flood, car crash, yet Jason was vacationing in Italy. Fame, danger, and survival intersected in a life watched by millions. He wrapped Levin's Trade in 2025, a Sylvester Stallone project based on Chuck Dixon's novel. Playing Levon Cade, a quiet ex-Special Forces man drawn back into violence, Jason explored a darker, more personal side of his craft: still real, still risky, but more introspective. Jason Statham's story isn't just about stunts or movies. It's about survival, discipline, instinct, and authenticity. From coal towns to Hollywood, from dives to car crashes, from heartbreak to family, every risk shaped a legend. He's not invincible. He's human. But he's relentless, fearless, and uncompromising, a man who turns danger into art and life into a performance. The screen shows the fight, the backstage reveals the cost. And in 2025, Jason Statham continues to push limits, mentor others, and redefine what it truly means to be an action hero. By the mid-2020s, Jason Statham wasn't just performing stunts, he was shaping the future of action cinema. On the set of A Working Man and other projects, he mentored 12 young stunt performers, showing them how to push limits safely. He insisted on strict on-set medical protocols, ensuring every stunt was carefully monitored. "I've been hospitalized enough to know what can go wrong," he told one trainee. Beyond physical training, he taught timing, anticipation, and psychological awareness. Every punch, every fall, every dive required mind and body coordination. Studios began following his example. Safety standards improved across productions, blending realism with caution. His influence went beyond choreography, it reshaped how Hollywood approached risk. Jason's philosophy was simple: authenticity doesn't mean recklessness, but mastery over danger. Not everyone applauded Jason's approach. Critics and co-stars sometimes questioned his refusal to use doubles or CGI. Some called him reckless, stubborn, even egotistical. During Hobbs and Shaw, crew members expressed concern after his motorbike crash in Samoa, yet he returned to filming without hesitation. While fans admired his fearlessness, industry insiders worried about long-term consequences. He also faced scrutiny for turning down certain dramatic roles. The Dark Knight, James Bond, and others were offered, but he preferred action that pushed his limits rather than conventional stardom. Some saw this as short-sighted, but Jason argued that he didn't want to pretend, he wanted to perform what he knew best. These controversies didn't hurt his career, instead, they defined it. His brand became synonymous with raw, unfiltered action, a modern legend forged through sweat, pain, and survival instincts. Jason Statham's philosophy is simple: master your craft, respect your body, never cheat the scene. Every stunt, every fight, every chase is executed with discipline honed since childhood. He credits his martial arts, diving, and street hustling for teaching resilience, timing, and fear management. "It's not about being reckless," he said in a 2024 podcast, "it's about being precise under pressure. Every movement counts. Every second matters." Even in family life, this principle applies. He approaches fatherhood with the same intensity and discipline as his stunts, ensuring his son Jack grows up understanding focus, respect, and resilience. Beyond the screen, Jason has been dedicated to giving back. His £1 million donation to UK diving programs created opportunities for young athletes who, like him, needed discipline and direction in life. He also supports stunt training programs, emphasizing safety and mentorship. By 2025, hundreds of new stunt performers had benefited from his guidance, learning how to perform high-risk maneuvers while minimizing danger. His charity work extends beyond sport. He funds youth education initiatives, helps families in need, and quietly donates to medical research, especially for injuries related to stunts. For Jason, wealth and fame aren't the end goal, they're tools to empower others. Jason shows no signs of slowing down. With Levin's Trade, 2025, he takes a darker, more nuanced approach, focusing on character depth as much as action. He's exploring projects that blend psychological intensity with physical performance. Rumors suggest upcoming collaborations with Sylvester Stallone, Guy Ritchie, and other action legends, along with ventures into producing and directing. While he still embraces physical stunts, he is beginning to craft stories from behind the camera, mentoring the next generation of filmmakers in realism, intensity, and authenticity. Fans can expect more high-stakes, heart-pounding action, but with a growing emphasis on narrative depth and moral complexity. Jason's career isn't just about surviving stunts, it's about leaving a lasting mark on the genre itself. Fame hasn't always been kind. By 2025, Jason endured death hoaxes, paparazzi invasions, and constant scrutiny. Headlines claimed he drowned in floods, died in car crashes, yet he continued life normally, posting vacation photos in Italy while the world panicked. The public obsession taught him valuable lessons about privacy, control, and perspective. He now approaches fame like another challenge: navigate carefully, stay focused, and never compromise your principles. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley notes that fame tested their relationship but ultimately strengthened it. Therapy, trust, and clear boundaries became their survival tools, mirroring the discipline Jason honed in his career. Jason Statham's career is defined by stunts that most actors wouldn't even attempt. Each scene tested not just his body, but his discipline, timing, and nerves. In the Transporter series, car chases were filmed at breakneck speeds with no stunt doubles. Every drift, jump, and reverse maneuver was his own precision driving. Crew members often held their breath, knowing one wrong turn could have been fatal. In Crank, he ran across highways filled with real traffic. Cars swerved inches away, yet he never faltered. The Italian Job added underwater tension. He was trapped in a flooded subway tunnel just seconds from drowning, rescued only by a split-second intervention. The Expendables 3 brought Jason face-to-face with almost certain death. A flatbed truck plunged into the Black Sea. His background as a competitive diver allowed him to escape, but it was a narrow, terrifying margin. Fans remember the Meg not just for its CGI sharks, but for Jason performing every underwater sequence himself. Trapped in a diving cage 45 feet below the surface, he remained calm and executed the scene perfectly. Each stunt became more than a scene, it was a signature of authenticity, a personal mark of survival and discipline. Jason doesn't just act, he lives every punch, fall, and chase. Behind the glamour of Hollywood sets, chaos followed Jason like a shadow. Some moments were almost fatal. On Transporter 2, while scaling a 10-story building with suction cups, his grip failed. He fell 20 feet, spraining his ankle, yet refused to stop. Crew members pleaded for a stunt double, but he pressed on, turning pain into art. In Spy, a comedic sequence escalated when a director rewrote a chase scene mid-shoot. Jason's precise timing saved him from catastrophic collisions with vehicles and obstacles. Hobbs and Shaw in Samoa tested his endurance further. During a high-speed chase, his motorbike hit a pothole, throwing him across asphalt and breaking his wrist. He returned to filming, refusing to fake the sequence. Even in films like Mechanic Resurrection, he endured concussions, shoulder dislocations, and explosive mishaps, all while keeping scenes authentic. Safety was always on his mind, but risk was an inseparable part of the craft. These near-death moments created legendary tension on screen and a reputation for being one of the toughest actors in Hollywood history. Despite never prioritizing awards, Jason Statham earned global recognition. Critics praised him for authenticity and dedication, fans loved his realism, and his films consistently delivered massive box office success. Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, $3.9 million UK, Snatch, $83.6 million worldwide, Transporter series, over $200 million combined, Hobbs and Shaw, $760 million, Meg, $530 million, numbers speak volumes. In total, by 2025, his films grossed over $8.5 billion worldwide. His influence extends beyond his own work. Young actors and stunt performers study his movements, timing, and choices. Directors design stunts around him, knowing that Jason guarantees authenticity and commitment. Even globally, his brand represents a new standard in action cinema: fearless, calculated, and human. He doesn't just play heroes, he defines the modern action hero. Jason Statham has redefined the action hero archetype. Gone are the days of polished, invincible characters. His heroes are human, disciplined, and relentless, capable of both physical and emotional depth. From the streets of East London to the beaches of Samoa, skyscrapers in Malaysia, and underwater shark cages, Jason's characters face realistic threats, mirrored by the actor's own training, injuries, and survival skills. He blends martial arts mastery, athleticism, and instinct with emotional nuance, showing that action heroes can be smart, resilient, and grounded. His legacy encourages future generations to push boundaries while respecting risk, creating a new blueprint for realism in film stunts. Jason's dedication comes at a cost. Years of stunts left him with broken ribs, concussions, dislocated shoulders, and a wrist injury that never fully healed. Doctors warned his wife Rosie about long-term consequences. The man who once survived drowning, falls, and near-death stunts faced the reality of his own mortality. Yet, Jason reflects on it as a worthwhile sacrifice. Each injury, each scar tells a story. Every bruise and broken bone adds authenticity to his characters, but also serves as a reminder, real action comes with real consequences. While Jason Statham's life on camera is a whirlwind of danger, behind the scenes, he cultivates balance and normalcy. Family is central. With Rosie Huntington-Whiteley and their son Jack Oscar, he prioritizes moments of calm amidst the chaos. Despite long filming schedules, he ensures quality time at home, teaching Jack martial arts, swimming, or simply enjoying quiet afternoons. Hobbies also play a vital role. Jason is passionate about diving, fitness, and motorbikes, but his approach is methodical, disciplined, and controlled. Unlike his stunts, these activities are about mental clarity, focus, and connection with the body, not risk for spectacle. He also enjoys traveling and cooking, indulging in moments that many fans never see. These routines help him recharge for the physical and mental demands of his projects. For Jason, downtime isn't laziness, it's preparation for the intensity of the next challenge. By 2025, Jason had learned that fame carries invisible dangers. Death hoaxes regularly circulated, drowned in Texas floods, fatal car crashes in California, false reports that spread like wildfire. Yet he remained unshaken, posting vacation photos in Italy while headlines screamed his obituary. Paparazzi became another battlefield. Drones hovered over the Beverly Hills mansion, cameras intruded into family moments, and every public appearance carried a risk of misinterpretation. Rosie once demanded stunt limits after a drone flew dangerously close during a shoot. Jason even attempted to intercept a drone with a thrown shoe, a symbolic act of defiance against constant surveillance. These experiences shaped his philosophy on fame: stay vigilant, protect your personal life, and control what you can while ignoring what you cannot. Jason's influence now extends beyond performing. He mentors young stunt performers, teaching precision, timing, and risk management. Studios have started adopting his protocols, making Hollywood safer while maintaining authenticity. He has also stepped into producing, shaping projects where realism, intensity, and character depth coexist. Films like A Working Man and future Stallone collaborations reflect his vision: action that is visceral, believable, and emotionally grounded. His guidance ensures the next generation of actors and stunt performers not only survive the physical demands of action cinema but excel within them, leaving a permanent mark on the genre. Jason Statham's story is one of grit, determination, and relentless pursuit of authenticity. From coal towns in Shirebrook to Hollywood sets around the world, he forged a career defined not by shortcuts, but by discipline, resilience, and courage. He has endured countless injuries, faced near-death experiences, and confronted the relentless scrutiny of fame. Yet through it all, he has remained true to his craft. Every punch, fall, and stunt tells a story of survival, mastery, and fearlessness. Beyond the screen, he nurtures family, mentors the next generation, and gives back to the communities that shaped him. His legacy isn't just box office numbers or accolades, it's a blueprint for realism in action cinema, a model of how dedication and discipline can transform danger into art. In 2025, as he continues filming, mentoring, and redefining what it means to be an action hero, one thing remains clear: Jason Statham isn't just an actor. He is a human legend, a man who turned pain, risk, and discipline into something unforgettable, a living icon of modern action. Jason Statham has always lived on the edge, but over the years, his understanding of risk evolved. While early stunts were driven by raw courage and instinct, by the 2020s, he approached danger with calculated precision. On the set of Levin's Trade, Jason insisted on performing his own close-quarter combat sequences in tight spaces, fully aware of the potential for serious injury. Every punch, throw, and grapple was choreographed to perfection, yet still carried the intensity of a real fight. The stunt team respected him not just for his fearlessness, but for the way he measured danger and respected limits. Jason believes that risk isn't about recklessness. It's about control, he said in a rare interview. You need to know your body, your environment, and your timing. If you respect those, you survive, and your performance becomes unforgettable. This philosophy extends beyond stunts. On location, he analyzes every environment, streets, rooftops, vehicles, looking for potential hazards. He trains meticulously, knowing that every fall, crash, or impact can be anticipated, minimized, and incorporated into the scene. His approach has reshaped the perception of action cinema. Stunts can be real, intense, and cinematic without being careless. By 2025, Jason's influence extended far beyond his own films. Recognizing the dangers young stunt performers face, he began mentoring emerging talent, teaching them not only combat techniques but also safety, strategy, and mental resilience. He personally trained a dozen stunt professionals on A Working Man, demonstrating proper fall techniques, grip placement, and timing for high-risk sequences. These kids will be the next generation of heroes, he said. If I can save one from an injury I experienced, it's worth it. Studios noticed. Production companies began adopting his risk assessment protocols, blending realism with safety. Jason's approach influenced everything from pre-production planning to on-set choreography. The industry slowly shifted, valuing authenticity while protecting performers. He also emphasizes mental toughness. In action films, split-second decisions can mean the difference between a successful scene and catastrophe. Jason teaches performers how to control adrenaline, anticipate motion, and remain calm under pressure, lessons learned from decades of surviving high-stakes stunts. Jason Statham has redefined what it means to be an action hero. Gone are the days of invincible, unrelatable characters. His heroes are human, disciplined, and flawed, yet capable of extraordinary feats. He believes that action should be grounded in reality. Every punch, jump, and fall must feel consequential. If it doesn't hurt, it's not real, he once said. This principle drives every role, shaping a new generation of audience expectations. His characters often confront moral dilemmas, physical exhaustion, and emotional stakes, making them relatable while remaining thrilling. Statham's influence ensures that modern action heroes are athletic, strategic, and emotionally compelling, a balance of strength and realism rarely seen before. Fame has its perils. By 2025, Jason faced death hoaxes, intrusive paparazzi, and constant scrutiny. Drones hovered over his Beverly Hills mansion, while tabloids spread false reports of accidents and near-death incidents. Yet he learned to navigate these challenges with calm pragmatism. Jason protects his family fiercely, setting boundaries and minimizing exposure. He understands that the public obsession with action stars often blurs reality, and he uses humor, caution, and strategy to maintain control. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley played a pivotal role in these moments, insisting on limits to protect their son and their privacy. Together, they established a system of trust, communication, and mutual respect, allowing Jason to continue performing daring stunts without compromising family safety. Jason Statham's legacy is not just measured in box office numbers, though they are staggering, over $8.5 billion in global earnings, with franchises like The Expendables, Transporter, and Hobbs & Shaw. His real impact lies in redefining realism in action cinema. He has shown that stunts can be authentic, dangerous, and cinematic, inspiring directors, actors, and stunt performers worldwide. His mentorship programs and advocacy for on-set safety have changed industry standards, creating safer yet more intense action sequences. Jason's work also inspires audiences to appreciate discipline, resilience, and preparation. Beyond the screen, he has donated millions to youth diving programs and athletic scholarships, creating pathways for young athletes to channel discipline and focus into positive outcomes. Jason Statham's fight scenes are not just choreography, they are studies in precision, timing, and risk. Every punch, grapple, and takedown is executed with real skill honed through decades of martial arts training. In Transporter 2, the oil fight remains legendary. 15 takes drenched in oil, every strike landing with real force. Crew members observed bruises forming, ribs aching, and exhaustion setting in. The sequence was grueling yet flawless, a testament to Jason's discipline and mental focus.